CGTN's Vauldi Carelse discussed the patterns of displacement in Africa with Evelyn Aero. She is the regional advisor for counseling and legal assistance at the Norwegian Refugee Council.
Does the Norwegian Refugee Council think that the year ahead will be even tougher for refugees, given the situation that we're seeing in the European Union and the United States at the moment?
The international responsibility sharing for displaced people has collapsed. And at the entry of 2018, we already have 68.5 million people displaced. And of those, we have 40 million displaced within their own countries, and 28.5 of those have fled to another country. With fewer asylum seekers and refugees moving into Europe, it's important that actually the less rich countries are provided with humanitarian funding or funds to assist. And Uganda, that has taken those steps, has actually only received 7% of the funds for that. And refugees continue to flock these countries. We have refugees from the DR Congo, from South Sudan. These are volatile contexts, and we have refugee populations and asylum seekers continuing to move into these countries. We might see an increase in the people trying to move to Europe, and the reason is if people moving to the countries of asylum, or if these people flee their countries to another country and they find that maybe the services or the assistance that is being provided is not adequate, they may choose those migration routes as a coping mechanism. So it means that maybe they are not able to realize the hopes that they had when they came from their countries to this country of asylum, and so they see other options, and that could be an option that they would choose, but usually it's a coping mechanism. I think that we need to emphasize the fact that the less richer countries are actually receiving these refugees and asylum seekers, and a lot of the funding needs to be channeled to some of these countries, and we need to keep recognizing the fact that the international responsibility sharing for displaced people has collapsed, and that is something we need to look into, taking into account that less and fewer asylum seekers and refugees are actually moving to Europe and the US.